Today, we're going to be doing a test with the new HF2 coil from XP Metal Detectors. I've been getting a lot of questions wanting to see the 9-inch fast multi-frequency black coil against the HF2 coil and what could possibly be some of the advantages that you could see versus the 9-inch versus the HF2 coil. So we're going to show that in a test, and we think we see some of the advantages in this test, and it really has to do with the higher frequencies of 53 kilohertz and 89 kilohertz. So we're going to show that in our test. We're also going to bring the Minelab Manticore into this mix, running the M8 coil. Now again, I don't want anybody to think that the Manticore is a bad machine by me running this test. Manticore is a great machine. This is really more so to show you the advantages of those higher frequencies and what this coil could actually do for you out in the field. Again, all tests need to be checked. All tests need to be applied out in the field. You can run this test yourself and see if you see the same results. You may not. Again, all tests are different. This is as controlled as I can make it for you guys, but it does give you some sort of idea about what we could possibly see out in the field. And we are going to take the settings that we're showing and we are going to apply them on our next hunt to see if what we saw on these tests really work out in the field. So that's the plan. Hopefully this will give you guys a little bit of clarification on some things. Check out the channel. There's tons of content on there for you guys on the HF2 coil as well as many other machines. So please go check us out. We appreciate that. But stay tuned for the test, and hopefully this is something that everyone will appreciate, get a good idea of the true potential of the HF2 coil. I think you'll like it. So come along and let's get to testing. Okay, we're out here with the HF2 coil, and we've got the fast multi-frequency 9-inch coil, and we've got the Minelab Manticore with the M8 coil. So today we're going to be doing a really quick test, basically showing you the power of the HF2 and these higher frequencies. And again, we're going to show you what we got set up here. Down here you guys can see we have a gold 14 karat earring next to a colonial nail, and this test was really interesting, and so I thought you guys would appreciate it, as this shows what the HF2 coil is capable of doing. So let's use the HF2 coil first, and it is already on. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to walk you through the settings that we're using. We're going to be running fast. You guys can see it there. We've got 53 frequency max. We've got our iron volume turned all the way down. We've got a reactivity of 2. We've got our audio response at 4. We've got our threshold at 0. We're running 6.8 discrimination. Excuse me. We've got pitch. We've got 0 bottle caps, we've got standard notch, and again back to pitch. So that's the setup that we're going to be using on this test. And again, we're going to show you how these higher frequencies sort of work on this setup that we've got here. Now again, I'm going to say this, make sure everybody's clear on this. You might get different results, okay? I'm just telling you that on this day, running this test, in this scenario, this is what I am seeing. So again, we are going to take these settings and apply them out in the field, and we'll let you guys know what we see when applying them out in the field as well. So let's swing over this target and let's see what we got here. Again, and this is the hard way, and you guys hear it. So naturally you would stop on that target if you heard that. A little clipped. And we're probably maybe an inch above the target actually. And just to show y'all what we're seeing And the screen is a 0203. And again, that's at the 53 kilohertz. So if we turn on that target after we heard that sound, would we be able to hit it this way? Listen to this. And we get a 33. Sometimes we get a 18, a 09. But that's what we're getting with 53. So if we take the gold target away at 53 kilohertz, we're going to remove our gold earring here. It's a little sailboat. Really thin, by the way, too. You guys can see it there, real thin. Okay, let's see if it's the nail. Again, nothing on the nail. We turn on it. Nothing this way either. And that was with 53 kilohertz. So now let's see what happens with 89 kilohertz. Okay. We got our target back down there. We're going to go to our screen and we are going to up our frequency max to 89. So let's see what happens with 89 frequency max. Let's see how it reacts with this, okay? We got a 09, we got a 40 popping up, a 20. But y'all hear it, two-way repeatable signal. We moved around, we turn on it. Of course, that was if we got stopped out in the field, we would turn on it and then we would look. Hear it this way too. We're getting a 15, every now and then a 30 something, 18, 38, 49. It's a little all over the place, but again, it's a mass target. Okay, what happens if we go down to 29? So let's go to our menu and let's lower our discrimination, our frequency max to 29. So our frequency max is at 29. Let's see what happens this time. Nothing. Will not hit that. Let's turn on it. Nothing again. Uh-oh, we got a little clip. It's trying. There we go. But that's it. That's about all I can get out of it. Let's see if we can get any numbers swinging it that way. A lot harder to hit at 29 kilohertz. Again, we're on a reactivity of 2. So you're asking yourself, is it the nails? Okay. Well, let's go back up to 53 kilohertz. Okay. Let's take our gold target away. And here we go. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, that was with 53 kilohertz. Let's go to 89 kilohertz. Nothing there. And nothing here. So would you stop on those targets? And the answer is yes. And then if you turned on it, you would also get the signal as well, which is a great sign, which shows that these higher frequencies are definitely hitting really hard on this gold target and the lower conductor, okay? All right, so that's the test with the HF2 coil and this gold target. We're gonna put our gold target back, okay? And now we're going to crank up. We're gonna cut this one off. Now we're gonna crank up the 9-inch FMF coil, okay? And we're gonna turn this bad boy on. And we're gonna set it up the exact same way. Of course, we can't go any higher than a frequency max of 40. Okay, we got it in fast. Okay, 6.8 discrimination. We got our silencer at 2. We got our sensitivity at 90. And we're at frequency max of 40. We're going to turn the iron volume all the way down just like the other one. Make sure you guys can see the screen. We're going to turn our reactivity to 2. Audio response at 4. Threshold at 0. Expert menu, we're using pitch. 0 bottle caps. Standard notch of 23-24. And then back to pitch, okay? Same setup as the HF2 coil, but only with 40 frequency max. So one thing too we want to do real quick is we want to do a noise cancel. Hold that right hand button down, let it run through. Pick the proper channel. Okay, and we're back at fast. We got our target back down here with the nail, and we're at 40 kilohertz. Again, will not hit it at 40. This is with the 9 FMF coil. Let's turn on it. Hits it just fine. Y'all can see the ID sort of popping up 83, 11, 43, 52. Hits it fine the easy way. The hard way, won't touch it. And that's the exact same setup, but with lower frequency range at 40 kilohertz. So you guys saw that. We could lower, I guess we could lower the frequency max down to 24. Let's see if that makes any difference. Which it probably won't, which we figured. Will not hit this. Turn on it. Hits it coming across this way. All right, so you saw that, and that was with the 9-inch FMF coil. And a lot of you have been asking, hey, I want to see where there is an advantage. Well, I think you just saw the advantage, because you can only run to 40 kilohertz with this machine versus running 53 and 89. And you saw how 53 and 89 responded to the target. Let's make sure that the FMF coil is not falsing on the nail either. So we're going to swing over it. Again, this is at 24, which is where we had it set up. This is at 24. Then we turn. And again, nothing. Okay, let's up it to 40. Now we're on 40. You guys can see it there. Nothing. Turn on it. Look at there. Let's see what kind of ID we're getting. 0809. So I find that to be really interesting, that it's falsing this way, but not falsing this way. But again, with the gold target in place, with the HF2 coil, and nothing this way, we get a 51, 56, 49. But also too, when we remove the gold target, we get a false this way. So the real question is, let's turn on it. Let's come back this way. Not getting it this way. We get a 20. We get a 09. Let's take the nail away and let's see what the target rings up without the nail. Rings up a 37. Put the nail back. Put the nail back. We get a 09. Come back across. Nothing this way. The funny thing is that when we were running 89 kilohertz and we swung across this target this way, without the gold target, it didn't false. But this machine wants to false, which I find really interesting. So there we go. That's interesting. But again, I still think that the HF2 coil is at least alerting you that there is a mixed or commingled target there, and you want to investigate and you want to look at it from all angles to make sure that you have a non-ferrous target mixed or being masked there in that situation. So I'm really sure that that's what this HF2 coil is showing in those higher frequencies. So there you go. All right, so we've looked at the FMF 9-inch coil, and we looked at the HF2 coil. So now we're going to crank up the Manticore, same target, and we're going to try to set the Manticore up something similar. It's not going to be exact, and maybe you could adjust some of this as well. Let's go here, and let's go to fast on the Manticore. All-terrain fast, okay? Let's see what we can do with all-terrain fast. Default settings. We're going to turn the sensitivity up to, we're going to turn on where we hear the iron, or no, we'll turn off the iron. Let's do that. And we're going to up the sensitivity. Let's say to 20, okay? Let's do the recovery speed at, let's do the recovery speed at 5. I think that would be close. Maybe 5 or 4. We'll try 4 and then we'll switch to 5 and see if we see any difference. And then we're in fast, okay? So let's see what happens with the Manticore. Let's see if we can hit this target again. There it is. M8 coil. You guys be the judge. Let's see if we can hit this. Nothing. Let's raise the reactivity up one more, or the recovery to 5. That's what we just did. Again, we're in fast. Let's turn on it. So y'all see the numbers, 28, 29, 30, 34, 27, 32. So would have hit it the easy way. Let's take away the gold target. Taking it away. Let's see what happens this time. We're not getting a false. Okay, let's go this way. Let's engage the horseshoe. It's calling it iron, red numbers. 47, 37, 42. It's trying to false on it. Okay, so it was trying to false too, just like the Deus 2. But again, it will not hit it with the gold target in place. Okay, so you guys saw that. That's with the Manticore running fast, sort of setting it up as close as we could to the others. So I hope that gives you guys some idea about the Manticore. Manticore is a great machine. I just think having those higher frequencies might give you a little bit of an advantage with this type of situation if that were the case. And again, you know, you can set these things up however you like, and the Manticore may perform better on one test and the Deus 2 might not perform better on another test. So again, it's all speculation. That's why you test these things out first, and then you take them out in the field and apply them and show them. So again, that's what we would have to do. But right now, I can say with pretty much confidence, I'm not stopping on that. If I were running this coil and I was running the Manticore with those settings, and with the HF2, I would stop on that. So you guys got to see the Manticore, you got to see the HF2 coil, and you got to see the FMF 9-inch coil. So hopefully that helps somebody. Again, all three great machines. The The Manticore, definitely an excellent machine as well. I think that these higher frequencies, though, are going to give us a slight advantage in unmasking situations, and you guys just sort of saw that. I think all of us would stop, especially running 89 kilohertz on that target if we got over it. And if we turned and kept circling around it and it stayed repeatable, we would definitely dig it. So we're definitely seeing some sort of unmasking advantage. Now, is the non-ferrous target elevating the iron, causing it to faults? It could be that, but it's at least telling you, saying that, hey, there's something down here you need to investigate. And I think that's what all of us are looking for, just something to tell us to check this target out. And I think the HF2 coil does that. So again, hopefully that helps. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was something beneficial to everyone. I appreciate you guys staying this long and watching this test. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great and fantastic rest of your day. Check out all of our other content. We would greatly appreciate that too. And we will catch you guys on our next adventure. We're going to try to run the HF2 and the 9-inch coil on our next hunt. And we're going to see if we can see any more advantages with the HF2 versus the 9. Okay, we'll catch you guys soon.